In the wild, mysterious depths of Brittany, France, sits an old abandoned shack. Surrounded by ancient oaks and home to all manner of forest dwellers, it is here that we meet to share our stories. So pull up a seat, swing that light, grab your favourite beverage as we share another tantalising tale in the freaking shack.
Hello, listeners. Back to the freaking shack.
Yeah, hello, Shack Pack. All you hundreds of Shack Packers.
Shack packers. I love it.
Is that like wall packers?
Or fudge packers. I always loved the fact that I used to work in a fudge shop and I could officially call myself a fudge packer.
I packed your fudge.
I did. It was great. I loved it.
Hey ho. Anyway, we're glad to be back. We're also glad to be recording on 3 different devices again because we are determined to get this audio right.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things when you record on one, you're in it. Especially because if you only record on one device and then the audio is bad, it just takes so much work to try and remedy that. So by recording on 3, we're just trying to give ourselves as much of a backup as we can.
Yeah.
So if 1, 2 are bad, hopefully we get 1 out of the 3 that works.
Absolutely.
And we can officially then give you guys something decent to listen to instead of it just sounding like boop.
Yes. Like the one before last did.
Yeah. But it's okay because, we're good at this.
We're getting more professional by the minute.
Oh, we're doing our best. We're doing our best.
We're not getting professional at all. We're totally amateur. We do not get paid. We are not promoted by anybody. We do not get
sponsorships. No, we have absolutely sweet FA. We have nothing. We have us. And we love you guys. We have you. That's what we have.
Well, we think we have you.
We think we do. That's all right, because the episode last week will go out and we'll have people contact us, you see. People will come on the socials and go, hey, I'm listening. We love you guys.
Do you think they will?
I actually don't know. I live in hope. Shall we say that? I live in hope.
We both live in hope.
I think that's what I'm going to call my next house. Hope.
There we go. That's the title of this week. We live in hope.
We live in hope. That's fairly accurate. Oh dear. Well, today we're talking about creepy roads.
Yeah, creepy roads and travel, spooky travel things.
There was definitely a funky noise just then that came through the ceiling. It was probably a mouse.
It was probably. Do have mice in the roof.
They can't get into the house, but they do make a lot of noise through the roof. But that might come through the audio. We might be able to get rid of it. But there was definitely a sound across the roof just then. Oh, yes. Well, have mouse will travel and all that.
Absolutely.
And while we're talking of travel, yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to totally just throw in a bit of a tangent here.
Yeah, go on then.
Right. I had the when you realise you've reached a moment with an animal that you have, when you're like, oh, I think we're at a point where we might need to make some age-appropriate decisions.
Yeah.
Based on my boy.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Not like big decisions, not like that.
No.
Right? Not yes,
that,
no.
Not that decision.
Not that decision. Because bless him, he's fine. But we need to do something about our stairs.
All right.
Now, you guys as listeners will not know this, but I do not have carpet or anything. I just have wooden stairs. Have I fallen down them when I've only worn my socks? Yes, I have. Yes, I did crack my coccyx. No, it wasn't fun. And the week after, it was about 4 or 5 weeks before one Christmas, my other half went down the stairs as well, broke his ribs. It was a big nightmare, right? Yep, we've all fallen down the stairs. But I'm going to try and explain this because this is an audio podcast and they're not going to be able to see. But I went upstairs. My boy, since I've been working like I've been working, where I've been spending 2 days away, going home and then spending another 2 days away and then going home, he's been exceptionally clingy when I'm home.
Right.
So I went upstairs. He came after me. I went into the bedroom as I came out of the bedroom, because I could hear this noise, right? This sort of clambering, scratchy on the floor kind of slip slidey kind of, I've got a 50-kilo, a white Swiss Shepherd. Okay, he's a big boy, but he is reaching a certain age now. He's got a lot of arthritis, blah, blah, blah. So he'd reached the top, right? He'd reached the top of the stairs. He'd put his first front paw up onto the top step. He'd put his second, his 2 front feet up on the top step. And then sort of, I don't know what he'd done, but he either slid with his front feet and then he was sort of holding on, but his chest was really low because he'd slipped and he couldn't get a grip on anything to try and pull himself up. So he was essentially sliding down the stairs. Aww. And he had this wide-eyed, panicked look on his face where he's going, oh my God, as he's sort of slipping towards the edge of the top step. Oh my goodness me. Well, I mean, I sort of grabbed hold of him and managed to get one hand behind each kind of shoulder. Mm. And I kind of went, I got you, dude. I got you. You come on up here. I sort of pulled him a little bit and he got his back feet under himself and then he was all right and he got him sorted. But I'm just like, oh my goodness. I've got these little carpet tiles, the little sort of half circle ones that go over your stairs. But I don't trust them. I just don't. I've looked at the stuff that they stick down with and I just think they're going to get really fluffy and then just give up. And he'll go down the stairs on one of these little carpet tiles. So we're going to have to come up with something else. But we're planning stair modifications so that my boy doesn't slip
down the stairs.
Because I don't ever want to see that panic look in his face ever again. It was horrible. But he was fine. He's fine. But we have to tell him now, do pay attention.
You have to go up behind him.
Yeah.
Make sure that...
But he won't go up the stairs in front of us. He has to... He's like, well, are you coming up? Because if you're not coming up, I don't want to be up here.
Yeah, I only want to come up if you're up here.
I only want to be up here if you're up here. And so, yeah, literally I have to go up the stairs and then stand at the top and wait for him to go up and then send him into the bedroom, which he then does. But it is, yes, it's always that thing, when the dog starts getting poorly or old.
Yeah. You
know what it's
We've
like.
been too many times on that. Too many times. It's difficult because we used to put Molly in a box and carry her up the stairs.
Yes, because she was 3 kilos, if that. If I'm not even sure she was 3 kilos. She's such a tiny little girl, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that with a 50-kilo shepherd. It doesn't work.
It would be a very big box.
To be fair, he's probably about 47 kilos now.
He probably needs a lift.
Yeah, I need a stair lift for a dog. Or for a wheelchair. There's those the ones that fold down and it's like a big plate.
That's it, yeah. Go up and round the stairs.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Not so sure you could get sort of special help with that. Financial assistance.
No, probably be quite expensive because I'm not sure that there's any assistance for that financially. But hey ho, we will find a way.
We will.
Yeah, what we'll end up doing is dividing up the living room and just putting our bedroom down there.
Yeah.
Because he won't want to go upstairs then.
No.
Bless him.
No. Anyway, we're carrying on, but slightly skewed. We're carrying on with our travel, because we started last week, didn't we, talking about railways and haunted trains and things like that. I think I have got a train in the notes that I've got this week. And we might do that first. Yeah, we will. I'll do that first. And then we're going into all sorts of other sort of travel, whether it's by car, by walking, airlines. We've got...
is there an airline one as well?
There is an airline one.
Cool.
And I'm sure we can come up with more. But what we're going to do is quite a bit of this season, I think we're going to sort of delve more into some of these stories because there's a lot more. We're sort of giving a little hint of what the story is about.
I think we have decided that some of these stories just do not have enough information.
Yeah.
And we may need to go and seek some of it out.
Yes.
Yes. Met their tragic end does not do it for me, I'm afraid.
We need to know what the tragic end was.
Was it, death by spider bites? Was it,
It's a bit like Dear St. Piran from our very first episode. His tragic end was falling down a well.
Yeah, which I find a little bit anticlimactic, really.
It was really. Considering he was actually originally thrown into the sea with a millstone round his neck and survived that.
Yeah, oh no, that was fine. That was fine.
But falling into a well with, like, clear water on the bottom, was that your stomach?
Yes.
I am not cutting it out.
My stomach. No surgery here.
No, the noise.
If you heard that, yes, my stomach went grrr.
It's very,
Yes.
yeah.
It's a good impression.
I think it's late for tea.
Yes.
So we are looking this week at some other travel things, but again, it will be things I think we're going to delve into a little deeper.
I think for sure, because there's one story in particular that I just feel like there's more information out there than what I originally found.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Brilliant. So we're going to start this week with the ghost train of Stockholm in Sweden.
I like it. We like across the world because I've got a few travel.
And again, it's just a hint of what it is, and it could be something that piques our interest.
I like it.
For something deeper. I don't know.
Go ferret.
Or something else that's becoming...
Becoming a saying, isn't
it's
it?
becoming very much
We need
a saying.
a sticker.
Yeah, go ferret.
Go ferret.
Or go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Anybody what I'm meaning.
Anybody who's not English and does not speak English as their first language will have no idea.
May not understand the fact that I am saying go for it, but go ferret sounds funnier. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Weird English, sorry. Right. The ghost train of Stockholm in Sweden. This urban legend revolves around the Silver Pillen, or the Silver Arrow.
Oh, okay.
I may not have said Silver Pillen right, but it's spelt silver, Pilen. Pillen, I would think. Or Pylon. Silver Pylon, might be. But it means the Silver Arrow. It's obviously the name of the train. A ghost train that reportedly roams the Stockholm metro. The train, used as a reserve train and known for its sleek, unpainted silver exterior, is said to only stop at stations that don't exist.
Interesting. So are these stations that previously existed or just made up ones?
No idea.
It stops wherever it likes.
It stops wherever it likes. At stations that don't exist. And anyone who boards it, I don't quite know how you can board it
If it doesn't stop at the station.
It stops at a station that doesn't exist.
Chase it with a imaginary horse or something.
But whoever boards it might never return.
Oh. So you don't really want to get on it anyway.
No, unless you don't want to come back.
Fair. Okay. Well,
we have no idea. If anyone does go on the train at any time, can you please get back in touch and tell us where you do return to?
where did you end up?
Where did you end up? You obviously don't return back to where you started.
And not from a station that exists.
No.
So, wow.
Interesting.
Maybe it's just stations that don't exist on this plane.
Hey, that's it. Ghost stations.
Now we're talking about planes. Let's not... Okay, no.
No, we're not talking about planes. We're talking about trains. Trains, planes and
automobiles. We'll get to automobiles in a moment.
Do you want to do one of yours?
Okay. I have a roadway one. And this is... it's on the E8 expressway in Malaysia.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is somewhere I don't think we've been. It's supposed
We've never been.
We've never... No, I mean on the podcast. We've never been there.
Physically.
We've never physically been there.
Okay.
It's supposed to be one of the most haunted roads in the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And People who drive on this road at night claim to see a multitude of things. Now, one of the things that they claim to see is strange creatures, I say in quotation marks. Strange creatures, I have no idea what this consists of. But strange creatures are on the list. Also, a lost schoolboy.
Wow.
Why they know he's lost, how they know he's lost. But a schoolboy who is apparently lost. Anywho. There is also said to be a driverless yellow VW Beetle which appears from nowhere and people follow it to their deaths. One might argue where the stories come from, I wonder.
Well, yes.
From the people maybe that don't follow it? Yeah. I don't know.
I saw someone follow it and now he's dead.
You can see how that would work, though, because if you saw a driverless vehicle, probably not the right kind of time of, life to be amazed by driverless vehicles, because I know in some places they
exist, yeah.
But back a ways, perhaps, if you saw a vehicle that was driverless, you might follow it to try and kind of get a better look, try and overtake it, try and see if you could see how who was driving it, because sometimes it's just like a 3'2" old Breton lady, over the steering wheel.
Absolutely.
So, not driverless.
It's using mirrors to see.
Or one of those sort of periscopes. Used to make at school with the mirrors of the cardboard. A
submarine
showing my
periscope.
age there. I am absolutely sure of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I can see how people who saw a driverless VW yellow Beetle would follow it to try and see.
Is it the love bug?
It could be. It doesn't say.
No. Don't follow the love bug. Right. I am going to talk about my hitchhiker, and I know you have a story similarly about a hitchhiker. If I tell mine and then you tell yours.
Sounds like a plan.
The Phantom Hitchhiker I have here, the tale of the Phantom Hitchhiker, is one of the most widely known ghost stories connected to roads. And I mean,
every time you say roads, connected to, I want you to say Rome. I don't know why.
I was going to say roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Oh, we haven't had a movie quote for a couple of weeks.
We haven't, no.
Oh, brilliant.
That's
there you go. We've got one in there.
So, The Hitchhiker is one of the most widely known ghost stories connected to roads. Imagine driving down a lonely stretch of highway only to see a lone figure thumbing a ride. You pull over and they get in, and then poof! They vanish into thin air.
I'm glad we were on the same wavelength there, because that could have gone really wrong.
These spectral hitchhikers are often tied to tragic events that occurred on the very roads where they're spotted. So I think there's many stories around these type of hitchhikers, and I know you've got
because
one in particular.
I found on the A38, and I know this road, so this was interesting, and this is why I picked up on it, because it is the A38, specifically between Wellington and Taunton in Somerset, in the UK, and this is exactly the same thing in terms of the fact that it is called the Phantom Hitchhiker, and that they've been reported, phantom hitchhikers have been reported to be seen since the 1950s. One driver called Harry, or potentially Harold in some descriptions, Unsworth.
Do not ever trust a driver called Harold.
No?
No. I don't know how many times my dad nearly killed me.
Is that specifically linked to the first name?
Possibly.
Brilliant. Well, anyway, one driver called, let's call him Harry then.
Yeah, he's called Harry though as well.
He picked up a hitchhiker, drove him several miles, dropped him off, continued driving along the same road, only to see the same guy again hitching a ride. Miles from where he left him. And I'm hoping in this instance he probably hadn't been overtaken.
No.
Because you can imagine him.
It wasn't like a huge bend like that.
Yeah,
And
he just ran across.
and he ran across.
I think that'd be quite funny. Debunked. No.
Yeah.
It's just a hairpin bend.
Yeah.
Brilliant. No, but I mean, this one obviously is something that is being talked about, as in Phantom Hitchhiker is being talked about from lots of different locations, lots of different places. So it's interesting, yeah. But to get somebody into your car only to then go poof and just not be there anymore.
And yeah, no.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I've heard of many a tale where that has happened.
My vehicle is my safe space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the thing, isn't it?
I'm a driver. Like, I drive a lot.
Yeah.
And I love driving. I don't care, whatever the weather, whatever time of day or night, I drive. I love it. And I'm quite glad to have that lock you in button.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one that just makes all the doors go ka-chunk and they're all locked.
But would you ever stop for a hitchhiker? That's the thing.
I've got a van, so I can normally get away with the fact of no, I have no
I have no room.
I have no seats. No. So I can usually get away with it without really worrying about it.
Because they still do quite a bit of hitchhiking here in Europe, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, we have picked up people before. When we're together. I don't do it when I'm on my own, but we have picked up people. Not recently, but normally
also
during the day.
Yeah, there are people that hitchhike on the main drag close to where I live, who are heading into the city, and there have been times when I've seen the same person because they literally hitchhike from the roundabout where my supermarket is.
Yeah.
So sometimes I see the same people, and I have to admit, if I was heading in that direction and I saw that person, knowing that they're obviously making this trip fairly regularly, I probably might pick them up. But I'm a little hesitant because my vehicle is my safe space.
Yeah.
And I don't invite people into my safe space that I don't feel safe with.
You don't know. Yeah.
That's just me. That is my little two pence worth.
Okay. Well, I have a ghostly flight.
Oh.
And this one is very interesting. And I think definitely we need to look into this a bit more.
Okay. Another deep dive. We'll have to write this down.
Definitely a deep dive. It's the ghostly flight of Eastern Airlines Flight 401.
Oh. I think I've heard of this, but go on.
This Boeing 747 crashed into the Florida Everglades in 1972. But the peculiar part comes after the accidents. There were planes using parts that were salvaged from the wreck. And there were reported sightings of Captain Bob Loft, the flight engineer, the flight engineer Don Repo. There were sightings of the captain, Bob Loft, and the flight engineer, Don Repo. Passengers and crew alike claimed to see apparitions of these deceased crew members, sometimes even receiving warnings from them about potential issues. Eventually, the airlines removed the parts because these people were being seen on other aeroplanes.
That's mad.
But when they looked into it, that aeroplane had a part from the crashed flight.
It's weird, isn't it? How?
Yeah. And they eventually, after so many sightings,
replaced the parts.
They replaced the parts, and now it's stopped.
That's amazing.
But I saw a program recently where I think they went out onto the Everglades. And they did like a haunted research thing where they had all sorts of instruments and things and had mediums there and people who could contact the dead. And they were...
So did almost like a seance kind of thing? Or?
That type of thing, where they were asking around the crash site. And getting reactions back from...
Did they get any?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very interesting. But that was when they also talked about these other incidents. And there are lots of them of incidents where crew members or even passengers that were on the initial flight have been seen in other planes, but all the planes had these parts put in them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really quite interesting.
So that's why I think that would be a really interesting one to sort of delve into a little bit more.
Well, on that, because I think we absolutely should dive into that a little bit more. But while you're talking about them showing up in other places, this one's quite interesting because I have a story from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, a road called Wakehurst Parkway, which is supposedly haunted by a young woman named Kelly. Again, I don't know how they know their name. Potentially something happened and this is a well-known incident. I don't know. But she is said to take control of vehicles that drive on the road at night, scaring the bejesus out of anyone on the road, and has caused crashes.
So what does she do?
Takes control of the car. I mean, I don't know about you, but my car is my safe space. No, lovey. No one's steering this thing but me. No side seat driving. Thank you very much. So I don't have back seats. Side seat driving is the only way that happens.
It's just a van.
It's a van. So crashes. She's like, I don't think anyone's been killed. I say that. The story did not say that anyone had been killed.
All right.
In terms of when she'd taken, but they did say that more recently crashes had been more prevalent on that road. So again, if you're Australian and you live anywhere near there, I'd love to know if you've driven the road.
Well, you saying that has made me go to one of my stories.
I love it when it works like this, because
I
we
know.
don't plan it this way at all.
We sometimes just do our own stories and then come together and then it all works out. This is the Ghost Road of Dartmoor in England. It's located in Devon, and Dartmoor is famous for its mysterious and often misty moorlands. There are loads of myths and legends
there's tons
around Dartmoor.
Yeah.
We can dive into that a little bit more at some time.
Actually, yeah.
But it is also home to a spectral phenomenon known as hairy hands.
Well, I'm not sure I like that very much.
No, I didn't either. Travellers on the B3212 road have reported feeling invisible hands grabbing the steering wheel and trying to force their vehicles off the road. Your face. You know, like the scream.
I don't think I've ever frowned and glared quite as hard as I am right now.
That was definitely the
I'm
face. The face from the painting, the scream.
Yeah. Excuse me? They did what now?
Yeah, grabbing the steering wheel, trying to force their vehicles off the road. These eerie encounters have been reported for over a century.
I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that. That's not nice at all. And cars back then were terrible. No safety features.
No. Well, there was no doors. I was going to say just open to the elements.
Catapulted out.
Yeah.
Oh my!
So you couldn't even lock the doors because it would just open to the element.
Wow.
So there you go.
Open to the element.
I thought that's more than one. There is. Not just rain. There might be wind as well, or sunshine. I'm sorry. We both lost you now.
Open to the element. Just.
Oh, the afterthought S just coming.
Oh my goodness.
I can't see now.
I was going to say I can't read my notes now because I'm crying.
Oh dear. How many elements are there? Oh goodness. No, I can't see because I'm crying.
Oh, now I've forgotten which ones I've done and which ones I haven't. Right, here we go.
I'm trying to throw mine on the floor that I've done. Oh
Oh dear. Right. Do you want to hear about 1957?
Absolutely. It was a year before the best year of my life. That was the snort. Oh dear. I think the wine's working now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on the A75 in Scotland, right? And this is where people have written stories about this because authors have called this road Scotland's most haunted road.
Oh.
So there's been many stories about this place. So, in 1957, a truck driver swerved to avoid a couple walking in the road, but when he stopped to investigate, they had vanished. So either his tracker thing is not gone off and told him he needs to take a nap, or weird stuff's going on.
Yeah.
Drivers have been plagued and harassed by what they're calling shadow figures from an elderly woman, okay, and I think this is like loads of different types of shadow figures, right? Because it says from an elderly woman to the back of a lorry that they nearly hit before braking, only for it then to just disappear.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I don't know if you've seen videos, because people have done videos where they've pulled up quite close to like a lorry it's on a trailer. It's being pulled backwards on one of those trailers. And because it's the big front of a lorry, right, they normally this is when a passenger is sleeping and they pull up really close and then go, ah, and brake and all that sort of stuff. And the passenger wakes up and sees this big front of a lorry and freaks out, right? And I kind of get that kind of impression that it's kind of a flash of the back of a big lorry.
Yeah.
For you then to brake and sort of panic, only for it then to actually not be there. Oh, so yeah, a little bit weird on that road. And I need to know if anyone's in Scotland.
Okay.
Anyone in Scotland on the A75, have you had any experiences? Because some of this stuff has been being reported since 1957. I don't know if that was specific to an event happening
maybe
on the road, or if that's just when reports go back to. I don't know.
Wow. Okay, I've got the Bluebell Hill ghost that is in England. In Kent, Bluebell Hill is a well-known hill, and it is infamous for a series of ghosts. Did you make a noise?
I tried to do that quietly, it didn't happen.
No. She tried to close her book on the table, and that's what you heard.
It went thunk.
The Bluebell Hill ghost is infamous for a series of ghostly apparitions. Drivers have reported seeing a young bride who died in a car accident on the eve of her wedding.
Oh, that sucks.
In 1965. Might have been a good release. You never know.
Depends on who she's married. I mean, she might have upped herself, to be fair.
She's been known to appear suddenly on the road, causing drivers to swerve to avoid her, only to find nothing there.
My life.
Some drivers even recall offering a lift to a hitchhiking woman, it's another hitchhiker,
Another phantom hitchhiker.
only to look back and find the back seat empty.
A phantom hitchhiker moment.
Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, I can't decide whether or not to feel like that could have been a chosen out of a potentially either arranged marriage or... Do you know what I mean? Or if it was actually devastating because it was actually a really
true love story.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Well, keeping on the theme, we've done lots of themes of hitchhikers and these phantom hitchhikers. And I've got the vanishing hitchhiker of, and I have no idea how to say this, Kutai route in Austria. Kuhtal.
Okay.
Kutai, maybe.
Have a stab at it.
But it's obviously like a German type word, so. But this Alpine pass is home to the classic vanishing hitchhiker. Drivers recount picking up a hitchhiker who warns them of imminent avalanches.
Oh.
or dangerous weather conditions before mysteriously disappearing from their vehicles.
Do those weather conditions then happen? Were they right, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, are they just randomly warning people? Kind of like...
There again, if you're warned of an imminent avalanche, I suppose you would turn the other way. But you'd find out
if it actually happened.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to find out.
Yeah, it would. So...
Kind of like, those people that stand on the street corners and kind of yell that the world's going to end.
Yeah.
We're still here, dude.
Yeah. We're still here at the minute.
It's going to end at some point. But,
Yeah.
How far in the future are you talking?
Oh, I don't know.
Whereas,
I'm not going into politics at the minute, but we are approaching
the end.
what shit just got real.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, we have to put explicit now.
Now we have to mark the box that says...
Yeah, because we use the sh word. The haunted SS Valencia. After the SS Valencia sank off the coast of Vancouver Island in 1906, numerous sailors have reported seeing ghostly lifeboats and screaming drowned passengers.
Oh, my life.
How awful is that? The lifeboats are said to be seen nearing the shore only to disappear before reaching it, with the cries of "Save us" echoing into the ether.
Well, that's dramatic. I mean, for the people on the shore as well as the people in the boats.
Yeah. How awful is that?
Oh my goodness. Has anybody ever tried to... I just imagine people trying to rescue them.
Running out into the sea.
Yeah, and then getting
nowhere.
Or potentially putting themselves at risk.
We've got to look into this one again.
We may have to look into this one because, that's traumatic as hell.
I'm marking all of these for further investigation.
I think that's what needs to happen.
Does anybody come from Vancouver who could tell us any more about this?
Got connections, so we might be able to ask.
Possibly. But how awful is that?
That is horrendous. I cannot imagine standing, seeing people coming in, and screaming for help and then vanishing. I would be beside myself trying to do something.
Yeah.
Anything. There must be so many reports to get help out to them.
I know.
Oh my life. Don't like it. No, don't like it.
Don't like that. Anyway, this one, interestingly, is called Resurrection Mary. She is a famous ghost in Chicago folklore. Resurrection Mary is often seen along Archer Avenue. She's reportedly a young woman with blonde hair dressed in a white party dress who mysteriously disappears when drivers reach Resurrection Cemetery.
Ooh.
It is believed that Mary was a young girl struck by a car on this road while returning from a dance, and her spirit now haunts those who travel there.
Wow. Anyone travelled that road? I haven't.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Goodness gracious me. And we have one more.
Go for it.
I
mean, go for it.
I will. I think I've done those. It's all right. I'm just checking other notes. I think that's a castle. No, not going to do that one. Right. This is, again, you'll have to excuse my pronunciation. The Phantom Guards of EI, not AI. EI. Is that like EI? Is he called Old MacDonald by any chance? No, the Phantom Guards of EI, or E1, it could be, and it is Caminito del Rey in Spain. Caminito?
It's L.
E-L?
It's L.
El Camito. It's how it's printed out.
Yes.
EI. I wonder what EI meant.
It's L.
E-L.
E-I-E-I-O.
E-L.
It's Spanish.
Not UL.
No, it's Spanish.
Okay. El Camito del Rey in Spain. Camito del Rey. I'm so sorry if I've not said that right. A treacherous walkway hugs the steep walls of a very narrow gorge in southern Spain. It is notorious not only for its danger, but also for its ghostly guardians. Some hikers have claimed to see shadowy figures of workers who died during the construction of the path in the early 1900s, and they still patrol the route.
Blimey.
Woo! There you go.
Are they in uniform?
Maybe.
Because I assume they would be fairly distinctive.
Guards.
You know?
I suppose so, but then they might just be... it says guardians, not
It's guardians,
guards.
not guards.
And they were workers, so probably just
Probably
in there.
not then.
No.
So not guards as such.
But they still patrol the pathway.
Interesting.
Yeah. Another good one
And
to
that's
look
a
into.
walkway.
And that is a walkway,
No
yeah.
vehicles needed.
No, travelling on foot.
Love it.
So those are the random amount of ones that we've picked up for this week
Yeah.
that I think we're going to do some deep dives into. So some from the trains, we're definitely going to look into more stories about the underground in London.
Yeah.
Because that is incredible. And there are some amazing sort of ghostly stories that are...
There's a lot of apparitions and a lot of people that have
Yeah.
reported seeing things and hearing things
Yeah.
down there. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think we need a bit more
Yeah.
than that.
And there's perhaps more that we can look at on the hitchhikers thing. I think there's definitely a lot.
We need to
And
find a bit more.
saying that, yes, I have a story
You do.
about a possible hitchhiker,
Oh,
a ghostly hitchhiker that you wouldn't want to pick up.
okay.
So let's swing that light and go into the story now. This is a famous but not true urban legend. On a dark, misty, lonely road, a couple were driving home late at night. The husband behind the wheel noticed a hitchhiker at the side of the road and, feeling sorry for him, decided to offer him a ride. The hitchhiker, a dishevelled man with a sinister look, climbed into the back seat. As they drove, the atmosphere grew tense, and the wife felt an uneasy chill. Suddenly, one of the tyres burst, and the car skidded across the road, the husband managing to bring it safely to a stop. Her husband got out of the car, and the hitchhiker offered to get out and help too. After a while, the wife heard a strange scrabbling above her, and then a defined and rhythmic banging on the roof of the car. She began to feel very afraid, but she then saw lights coming towards her from the opposite direction. She was relieved when moments later the police arrived, and one officer instructed her to get out of the car and come towards them without looking back. Despite their warnings, her curiosity got the better of her. She turned around and saw the gruesome sight of the hitchhiker crouching and holding and banging her husband's severed head on the roof of the car. The hitchhiker, it turned out, was an escaped mass murderer from a local prison. Da da da. I'm scared now,
I might just try that again.
and I'm
I won't.
I'm not picking anybody up in my car anymore.
No, absolutely not. No, when there was a question mark before, it's certainly not a question mark anymore.
No.
That being said, lovely listeners, travel safe and
Don't pick up any hitchhikers.
no,
Unless you know them.
unless you know them or have some idea that they are safe people or have an arsenal in your side pocket.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will see you next time back at the freaking shack.
Take care, everyone.
Stay safe.
Find us on all our social medias. Email fshack03@gmail.com. TikTok @the.freaking.shack. Instagram @the_freaking_shack. And Facebook is the-freaking-shack. All those freakings are without a G. And our little web page is at fshack03.podbean.com. We look forward to hearing from you.